You're just in time for Volusia Magazine. I'm Amber Patterson. Today we'll join reporter Michelle Coates on the business beat for a look at an incredibly unique local exporter, Southern Coast Canine. Then safety in the workplace is a topic for today with health reporter Stephanie Strong. And finally, we'll join Community Information Director Dave Byron in the studio for a chat about the role of the Center for Business Excellence in our community with the president of the organization, Rick Fraser. We hope you'll stick around for those segments, news, and more coming up on Volusia Magazine. Stay tuned. Weather forecasters say there's a good chance El Nino will develop in the Pacific Ocean in August or September. This could reduce the number of hurricanes that develop in the Atlantic Ocean. At the same time, El Nino could produce more rain, lower temperatures, and more storms in Florida this winter. El Nino and its opposite, La Nina, are weather patterns that affect the global climate. El Nino is caused by a warming of the waters in the Pacific Ocean off of South America, while La Nina is caused by a cooling of the waters.
Well, in Central Florida, we can expect, starting, dependent upon, of course, when the El Nino forms, they're talking about it forming in the August-September timeframe. If it does that, it has an excellent chance of suppressing the hurricane season and cutting off the number of storms, potentially even bringing an end to hurricane season much sooner than we normally have. But essentially it's going to provide for a wetter and colder winter. It's going to provide for a wetter spring into the summer months, which will help our fire season. But it also, because of that contrast, will allow for the cold and hot cold front scenarios to be enhancing of very severe weather in the spring, which could lead to the formation of tornadoes.
While El Nino produces weather and cooler weather across the southern states, it also creates warmer and drier conditions in the northern states, which is bad news for the parched upper Midwest. Although fewer hurricanes are expected, this is no time to let your guard down. It only takes one hurricane to cause major destruction. If you haven't packed your hurricane disaster kit yet, now's the time to do it. You and your family should be prepared to be self-sufficient for 5 to 7 days following a disaster, so make sure your kit includes plenty of water, non-perishable food, personal items, and medications. You'll also want to create a family plan so you'll know exactly where you're going to go and what you're going to do if your area is evacuated. For more information on stocking a disaster kit and creating a family plan, you can visit volusia.org/emergency. Gone are the days when you had to walk into a library to check out materials. Now you can download digital books and music anytime, anywhere, even from your home computer. The Volusia County Public Library System offers downloadable audiobooks, ebooks, and music from its website, which is volusialibrary.org/downloads. They're available 24 hours a day. All you need to get started are a library card, a personal computer, and an internet connection. Once downloaded, the books and music can be listened to on a computer or transferred to a CD or portable device such as an iPod, Nook, or a Kindle. At the end of the lending period, books automatically expire and are returned to the collection. There are never late fees. With thousands of popular fiction and nonfiction titles to choose from, the collection is guaranteed to have something for everyone. You can download best-selling novels, well-known classics, self-improvement guides, and more.
Well, I think e-readers are becoming more and more popular, one, just because of their portability. It's easier for you to carry the lightweight e-reader than it is sometimes a hardback book. I think a lot of people like the fact that it's convenient. They can download from home. They don't have to travel anywhere. I think for a lot of our folks who have any vision issues, the e-readers allow you to expand the size of the print to the size that works best for you. So I think there are advantages to the e-reader, and I think that that's why a lot of folks are moving in that direction.
To learn more about free digital downloads, you can visit volusialibrary.org. Flying Daytona Beach International Airport is just plain easy, and it's also convenient for business travelers. The airport has a complimentary business center that travelers can use, which is supported by the county's Economic Development Division. The 720 square foot food center at the end of the concourse near gates 5 and 6 offers Wi-Fi internet hookups, privacy desks with comfortable chairs, charging stations, and a printer. But Steve Cook, Business Development Director for the airport, said there's much more that makes flying out of Daytona Beach convenient for business travelers.
Well, we have a number of things at our terminal. We have very short walking distances from the parking lot back and forth to the terminal. Many airports don't have this. You have long lines. We don't have that. We have a very convenient security check-in station. The most modern equipment that the TSA has out there is available at our airport. We can get you through your security check-in easily, comfortably, in record time. If you have something that has to be surrendered to the TSA, we actually have a mailback system where we will send whatever the object is back to your home address at no cost to you. So we provide that. Down by the ticketing area, we have a weather and flight tracking kiosk, which is operated by Embry-Riddle, and that's open for the customer. You can see what the weather is and the destination that you're traveling to. We also have flight tracking, where if you know the flight number of the plane you're interested in, you can see exactly where it is in the system, when it's going to land, and so you have very, very exact information at your beck and call at Daytona Beach International Airport.
Daytona Beach International Airport also has a conference room available for on-site business meetings. The 3,000 square foot Volusia room is on the second level of the main terminal and features a 1,300 square foot pre-function area, ideal for greeting arrivals and socializing. For more information, you can visit flydaytonafirst.com and click on Business Passengers. Reporter Michelle Coates takes us to a unique Volusia County exporter, Southern Coast Canine. The local company brings canines from Europe into the area, trains them and their owners, and then sends them all over the United States and to several foreign countries to detect explosives and drugs.
We're here at Southern Coast Canine, home of a major training facility of canine animals that are exported around the world. It's one of 2 in the state of Florida. I'm Michelle Coates with the Business Beat.
Now his main focus is here, is the toy. You can do whatever you do and he could care less about, all he cares about is his toy.
Southern Coast Canine drug-sniffing dogs have seized millions of dollars worth of cocaine, found marijuana hidden in the seams of convicts' clothing, and hundreds of pounds of narcotics deeply hidden in cargo trucks and containers. Their dogs serve as military dogs in the United States and overseas in combat zones like Iraq. You'll also find them in the homes of ordinary folk, protecting their human family. From freight stops and prison inspections to bed bug detectors, Southern Coast Canines fill a unique role. We spoke with Bill Heiser, founder of Southern Coast Canine.
We train police, we train the police dogs and the dogs themselves for either drugs, bombs, or dual purpose, which is a police dog. A police dog is a felony apprehension dog and either does drugs or does bomb.
Heiser, along with a team of trainers, is dedicated to working with German Shepherds, Labrador Retrievers, and Belgian Malinois to detect drugs, explosive devices, and cell phones. The dogs are brought over from Europe, where the world's best canines have been bred for decades.
We go to Europe, we hand select the dogs, like I said, we test them and see if they have the ability that we're looking for. And once we do that, then we bring them back to the States. And it takes us anywhere from 10 to 12 weeks to train a dog. Then we bring a handler in for another 4 weeks and match him with a proper dog for him.
Heiser travels to Europe a few times a year, and each time he returns with 30 to 40 canines. A dog must be sociable, well-rounded, and possess an extreme hunt drive.
A dog's sense of hearing is 30 times greater than ours. So we have a wall up here, and we make sure there's a lot of noise, a lot of movement in there, and whether they get spooked and leave, or whether they're so concentrated on the drive to get that toy that they could care less about anything. There he is.
Canine training prepares teams for what they will encounter when they go to work for real. One of 2 such facilities in Florida.
Most of the dogs that go to Iraq and Afghanistan that we train save thousands of lives. I mean, literally thousands. And the amount of cachets that we get with explosives and weapons over there from these dogs is unbelievable.
The ideal dog will jump through a wall for a tennis ball. It will chew tennis balls till they pop and won't stop playing fetch, even when its master is beyond ready to quit. During 15 weeks of training, the dogs learn to associate the smells of explosives with 2 coveted rewards, a tennis ball and an over-the-top thigh-slapping, dog-rubbing reaction from its trainer. An affinity between the handler and his or her canine teammate is essential if the best job is to be done. It's vital to make a good match.
We usually try to match a dog up with the personality and the use of the dog. So family life is into it, if they're going to be doing schools or they're going to be on the highway working, so we try to match them up to what they're going to use them for.
For a dog to be a productive member of a team, it's critical the handler be trained in the correct methods of canine handling. An intensive 2-week program for the single-purpose detection dog is considered the minimal amount of time necessary for dog and handler to bond. We spoke to Ocala Police Department canine officer, Anthony Rigotti, about the canine his department is looking to pair him with.
They have to be well-rounded, have to be adapted to people. They can't be aggressive because we do a lot of demos and stuff.
Southern Coast Canines, 11 employees, care for about 60 dogs on a daily basis. They turn out 100 to 200 trained canine teams annually and conduct specialized canine training across the globe.
Boos. As you can see, the dogs here at Southern Coast Canine are not only are well-rounded, well-behaved, but they are hard-working dogs as well. Thanks for joining us today. I'm Michelle Coates on the Business Beat.
Slips, trips, and falls in the workplace can sometimes cause serious and even fatal injury. However, simple steps can help prevent these accidents, keeping you and your coworkers safe at the office. Today on Community Health Matters, Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong brings you safety tips on how to eliminate accidents in the workplace.
Accidents in the workplace happen more frequently than most people tend to believe. In the United States, tripping, slipping, and falling ranks second behind automobiles in terms of accidents. According to the U.S. Department of Labor, every year almost 6,000 people are fatally injured at work. More than 4 million people suffer non-fatal injuries, including over 1 million which cause them to miss 1 or more days of work. The good news is that most of these accidents can be easily avoided by taking a few simple preventative measures. Never leave cords, boxes, and other materials in walkways or block emergency exits. When reaching, always use a ladder or non-sliding footstool instead of climbing on a desk or chair. Report poor lighting or missing handrails on stairs immediately. Never carry loads that block your view at any time. Use proper lifting techniques that allow the legs, not the back, to do the work. Balance the loads in file cabinet drawers to reduce the risk of dangerous top heaviness. And remember, always report accidents to your supervisor immediately.
Slips, trips, and falls have only a minor impact on the workplace. You only need to pay attention to a slip, trip, and fall incident if there are injuries. You and your employees must work together to eliminate slip, trip, and fall hazards. Good housekeeping plays a major role in preventing slips, trips, and falls in the workplace.
For Volusia Magazine and on behalf of the Volusia County Health Department, your guide to better health, I'm Public Information Officer Stephanie Strong.
As always, if you have any questions about this or any other health-related issues, you can log on to volusiahealth.com. And now it's time to head into the studio to join Community Information Director Dave Byron for his discussion with Center for Business Excellence President Rick Fraser.
Thanks, Amber, and hi, everyone. The Center for Business Excellence is responsible for preparing people for employment and meeting the training needs of people seeking jobs and companies that need trained workers. In addition, the agency plays a major role in assisting businesses in the aftermath of a hurricane. With us in the studio today is Rick Fraser. He's the president of the Center for Business Excellence, and we want to find out what's going on in the labor market in Volusia County, and we want to tell you as business people how the center can help you should we have an unfortunate disaster. Rick, thanks for being with us.
Well, Dave, thanks again for having me here.
Absolutely. Hey, Rick, for those people that have never heard of the Center for Business Excellence, perhaps don't know what you do, give us kind of a quick overview.
Sure, Dave, thank you. The Center for Business Excellence is the name of the Regional Workforce Development Board. We service both Volusia County and Flagler County. The regions in the state of, there are 24 regions in the state of Florida. And initially they were set up around the Community College Authority.
Right.
So since at the time Daytona Beach Community College was delivering education, workforce education in both Flagler and Volusia, that's where the workforce region came from. And again, there's 24 regions in the state of Florida, not all the same size. But we try to, as you said in the introduction, we try to first find out from our business community what kind of skilled training they need,
right.
What would be their ideal employee,
right.
And then we work with education providers throughout the two-county region to deliver training that would meet that need. So our ultimate customer is really the employer.
Right.
We try to figure out what our regional employers need and then deliver training to meet that need.
You know, we were speaking the other day with Jane Pfeiffer of the Volusia Manufacturers Association, and one of the points that she made was that there are a lot of manufacturers in Volusia County that have high quality, good jobs available, but they're having a little bit of difficulty in getting the skill levels that they need. And I guess that's where your agency and the colleges come in to try to marry those two needs up.
Actually, Dave, that project or that activity that I'm sure Jane talked about was a collaboration between the VMA, Daytona State, and us in putting together a CNC machining program. My understanding right now is that there were 19 successful people that went through that program.
Right.
And now they have a certification that would be recognized by manufacturers in CNC machining, which would then make them more hireable. So that's kind of in a nutshell what we try to do.
And I thought it was kind of cool, speaking of that program, in that I guess one of the carrots of going through that program is you finished the program and became certified, you got an automatic interview.
Absolutely.
Yeah, which is pretty cool.
There was at the end of the program, my understanding again, there were three or four employers that actually met with these 19 certified graduates of the program, and actually had interviews on site at the same time.
Let's talk about the area unemployment picture, Rick. I mean, it's been pretty high with the economy being what it is, but the last numbers I've seen, they're starting to get better.
Yeah, they've I'll give you an example. In May of 2011, in Volusia County, our unemployment rate was 10.6%, and that was down from the year before. And in May of 2012, it was 8.7. So it came down almost 2 percentage points in the year, and it's for the last several months, Dave, it has been around that 8.2, 8.6%. It hasn't fluctuated much either way, which I think is a good sign. I mean, I think we had to kind of get stabilized first, before we saw maybe a return to even some lower rates. So the trend is good.
One of the things that, I don't know if this is a good or bad thing, but one of the things that, people like Ray Salazar at the United Way have said is that companies, like Volusia County, for example, shedding all of these workers during the tough times have figured out how to get jobs done with fewer workers. So therefore, it may be a little harder to get that employment rate where you want it to be. I don't know if you've noticed that.
No, I think that's exactly true. Ray actually sits on the Center for Business Excellence board, and that is absolutely true. The companies who are still in business have found ways to do business with fewer resources, including human resources. So my concern is just what Ray said is, if a company laid off 10 people,
maybe they only have to rehire 5 because
Correct,
well, you still got 5 people who are unemployed.
Right.
So I think it's going to take a little bit of time for us to get back where we want to be. But again, I think that the trend is going in the right direction.
Numbers going in the right way.
Yeah.
Rick, you have these centers around the region. First of all, tell us where your centers are.
Okay. We have 3 one-stop employment centers in the 2 counties. One is up in Palm Coast. In Volusia County, we have one in Daytona Beach, which is located in the Speedway Business Center right behind Volusia Mall. And as a matter of fact, Dave, I'm glad you asked the question. We have just relocated our West Volusia one-stop. It used to be on Woodland Boulevard right next to Frontier Communication.
Right. Down in South DeLand.
Yes, South DeLand, right. We have now found a space in Orange City.
Right.
And for us, it's good because we did a little demographic study, and the majority of our customers come to us, West Volusia customers, come to us from Deltona and DeBerry.
Right.
We still have some from DeLand, so we took the opportunity to locate kind of centrally between the 2 hubs of activity. So we were able to find a space in an Enterprise in Saxon in Orange City, and I think it's going to work out really well.
All right, so I walk into one of your one-stop centers. What kind of services are available?
There's a wide variety of services. If you're a job seeker and you're coming into our one-stop center, there's a little triage that takes place first, where our case managers and our staff will find out what you need, find out what your interests are, where are you in your job search. And then you would be routed to another case manager, or if you're just in there looking for a job, you would be routed to what we call our career zone, which is a bank of computers which would allow you to go in and look at job openings.
Right.
And we kind of stay with that person throughout the process. The ultimate goal is to get them a job. So our case managers and our staff at our one-stop centers will interact with those people all the way, hopefully, until they find employment.
Have you found that because of the economy, Rick, people are changing careers? Have you found that?
Yeah, I think there's a lot of people. Let's take construction as an example. We're not sure whether construction in our region is going to come back to what it was prior to the recession. So some of those jobs may be lost forever.
Right.
And I think there's some folks in that industry that have said, okay, I'm going to take advantage of this opportunity, and I'm going to get myself retrained because I've always liked computers. Right. And I'd like to find out more about computer repair. So again, then we would help them identify some training and help subsidize the cost of that training to our best extent and get them into training. Yeah, there's a lot of people who are using this as an opportunity to kind of maybe do what they want to do all their life.
Right. Rick, one of the things that happened after the 04 hurricanes was there was a kind of an aha moment when everyone said, really, we need a little bit more support for business to get them back in business and to get them married up with what help they need. And so your agency kind of worked with Volusia County Emergency Management and along with the chambers and so forth. And you've got a pretty big role now should we have a hurricane. Let's hope we don't.
Yeah.
But
it's funny, Dave, whenever I talk about this subject, I kid a lot of people that, we went through this effort with the county and with the chambers, and we got this all set up, and we haven't had a need to do it since then. It was 2004. So knock on wood.
But the tools are on the
the
shelf.
tools are there.
So let's talk about that. So let's say we have an event, a hurricane event. What do you do?
What we do in conjunction with the county and the Emergency Management Office is activate what we call our Business Operations Center. We convert our boardroom at our facility in Daytona to a business hotline center, if you will. We've got a bank of telephones and computers set up. Our facility in Daytona has a generator, so in the event that power is out, we still can operate. And because most likely our staff wouldn't be able to do their normal jobs after a disaster, we staff that room with our employees. Right. And basically, if a business needs a generator, or if they need some trucks to get some debris moved, we have established, along with the Chamber of Commerce, which was a big help in this, a resource bank, so that we have a list of all possible services and products that might be needed in the event of a disaster. Right. And then we can hook that person up with somebody who might have that, whatever they need. Right. We don't negotiate a rent or a lease. It's up to the two parties to do that. Right. But if you called and said, I need a generator, I can get myself back in business, we'll get you hooked up with somebody who might have a generator, then you negotiate whatever deal you need to negotiate.
And we found during the 04 hurricanes, Rick, many scenarios such as those that you described, and that is people had to wait longer than maybe necessary to get that item, which, as you say, the ultimate goal is to get these businesses back into business.
Right, and our part in that, and the reason we were so involved in it, Dave, is that again, our job is to keep people working.
Sure.
So the quicker we can get employers back up and running, the quicker they can get their employees back,
right,
and maybe not have to worry about filing for unemployment. There's you know, a short period of time where maybe they're off work, but 2 days later or 3 days later they're back at work.
Right.
And so that's why we were so involved in trying to set this up. We're kind of a selfish motivation. We want to get people back to work.
So what I'm hearing you say along these lines, Rick, is that if there are people listening out here that own businesses, I think they want to make sure that they are connected with
Correct.
you, so that you've got them in your database, I guess.
Absolutely. And again, through the Chamber's help, we've developed a database of companies that might have supplies and resources after the fact. And so we've got that database already built, and we're continuing to update that. And that's kind of in place already. Mm-hmm. But what we need is companies who may need to have those resources, right, aware of the fact that we are operational. And by the way, we only activate that center when the county declares the emergency.
Right,
so
I understand.
It's not activated all the time. The county would have to say,
right,
we're activating our EOC, and then we then activate the Business Operations Center.
Is there a website, or is there any type of, how do people get information? Right?
There is a website and a telephone number. Let me give you the telephone number first. It's 386-323-2106. 323-2106. And if you want to be part of if you want to kind of get registered as a business on it, the best thing to do is to email the Daytona Beach Chamber of Commerce.
Okay.
And it's Kevin Killian, Kevin@DaytonaChamber.com.
Well, Rick, I want to thank you very much for sharing the information, and that is a vital service that hopefully we'll never need,
right,
but it's there
right,
if in the event we do need it. And it sounds like the CBE is doing pretty well these days. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having us again. Appreciate it.
Our guest today, Rick Fraser. He's the president of the Center for Business Excellence in Volusia and Flagler counties. And with that, Amber, we'll go back to you.
Thanks, Dave, and thank you for watching Volusia Magazine. If you have any questions about our program, just give us a call at any of the numbers you see listed here, or you can log on to volusia.org. You can also watch the show online. Just go to volusia.org and click on the Volusia Magazine icon. And we hope you won't forget to listen to Volusia Today, Volusia County Government's public information radio broadcast. Volusia Today airs every Tuesday and Sunday mornings on the local radio stations you see on your screen. For Volusia Magazine, I'm Amber Patterson. Have a great evening.